are these people?
I don't know if you saw my one-on-one with Golden Monarch that we played. We recorded it Wednesday, ran it Thursday night as well as Saturday night. And we talked a lot about Bitcoin. We talked a lot about crypto and what a grift it is in a lot of ways, and how it's now becoming a tool of the elite because most people can't afford it. And even when it goes up, they're really not making all that much from it. They've got to hold on to it forever, and it doesn't yield anything as far as, dividends or monthly income or any kind of residual. It's all about the appreciation and growth, which has ups and downs. One of the things that we talked about was an article that he had written that I wanted to bring here tonight. It was talking about Steak and Shake and their acceptance of Bitcoin now as a currency in order to buy a burger. Like what? Have you heard about this? Reef, yes. Have you bought anything with crypto yourself?
I don't think so. No.
Have you bought crypto?
No.
Ever?
Yes.
Okay. So it's blockchain, it's cryptocurrency. All right, this is our friend Golden Monarch. Give him a follow over at the goldenmonarchdomain.substack.com. Let's do it. Where's the sound? Here it is.
Coming to a
Hopefully
Substack
you heard that, but probably not.
Near you.
Nope, you didn't.
Yes.
Reef did.
I'm shaking my head up and down.
Nobody else did. It didn't go out. It didn't go out to the stream. I'll let Reef do it. Go ahead. That I did not hear.
Near you.
That was halfway cut
Coming
off.
to a
There we go.
Substack newsletter near you.
All right, we're bringing up the soundboard. All right, folks. Okay, yes, coming to a Substack newsletter near you is the Golden Monarch domain. So he wrote, "Hey, Steak and Shake, did you just call my Bitcoin a cow?" But no, I think he called it a honeypot. Now, this is a real image from a real video, a real commercial that they did about accepting Bitcoin, where these clowns all danced in cow suits, and they literally call themselves
Have a good time with your Bitcoin.
Steak Toshi. Like, just what? Okay. So he says Steak and Shake, burgers, fries, milkshake, even the recent switching from vegetable oil to beef tallow for frying fries and other items. What could go wrong?
That's how you get brain worms. You got to be careful.
They literally brag that we RFK'd our fries. Really? Enter Bitcoin.
What a fucking dummies.
Right? Yes, a bunch. The decentralized, quote unquote, cryptocurrency that's been wildly exaggerated, overvalued as a result of earliest investors and billionaires and politicians, and a lot of media hype that has been bought. And executives at Steak and Shake are making no exception either. They're rolling in hard for Bitcoin to enable customers a third option besides cash and credit card to pay for items in Bitcoin. Good news for everyone, right? Nope. We need to find out what's motivating Steak and Shake to accept Bitcoin, who precisely controls and owns Steak and Shake, and what official executives of Steak and Shake have said about Bitcoin, and what political agendas has Steak and Shake aligned itself with. I think that you'll find that it follows a very straight path. So the first thing is that they're owned by a company called Big Larry Holdings, which is funny, because I thought it was like Big Larry, but it's more like Big Larry, because the owner is Sardar Big Larry. Okay, so Big Larry Holdings, which is located in San Antonio, Texas, owns several subsidiaries along with Steak and Shake. They include Abraxas Petroleum, so they own some oil companies, First Guard and Maxim and Southern Oil, Southern Pioneer and Casualty Insurance Company, and Western Sizzlin Corp. I don't know if that's the follow-up to Sizzler Steakhouse. I don't think so. I don't know what Western Sizzlin Corp is. Its CEO, who is Sardar Big Larry, he has invested a considerable amount of money buying companies, including Steak and Shake. So he's like what do you call it? Like just an investor. All right. So Greg Abbott, who's the governor of Texas. All right. Of course, we know that he's pro-Israel Zionist, Christian, last month threatened the city of San Marcos over its proposed embargo on Israel. So that's the climate that they're pandering to. Given Abbott's position, Big Larry very likely has massive bias for Israel by remaining silent on the matter. Either that or he's just a pussy, but I would guess that it's probably the former. All right, because you can see that he's given consistently, not much, all right, $500 to his local rep, $1,000 for Congress, 25 grand for his governor. So that's one of the reasons why he's quiet about Greg Abbott. And just $216 to Donald Trump. That's a weird donation. Anyway, Big Larry previously referenced Horatio Alger, the American dream, and the belief that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve upward mobility through hard work and perseverance, even in today's day and age. All right, which is, not acknowledging that there are certain people that start at the 50-yard line and have a much more clear-cut advantage than others who succeed in this world, and that some people start all the way back on their own goal line and have a massive amount of challenges. All right. So he says, quote, in the 19th century, the tales of Horatio Alger captivated the public for the way his characters overcome adversity. Our franchise partners are the flesh and blood Horatio Alger heroes of the 21st century. That's a marketing slogan if I've ever heard one. It's a reminder that when opportunity knocks, all one needs is a knack for seizing chances and for putting one's all into the work at hand. Oh, yeah, and it helps to have a billionaire behind you as well. As long as you...
Only a little bit.
As long as you play the game and you play along and you follow their rules. All right, but here's the funny thing. You didn't use Bitcoin to buy your food. You used Lightning. So this account named Scotch Horse points out that the person that actually purchased their burger through using Bitcoin, that you used a side chain called Lightning, which is built on top of failed soft fork of Bitcoin called BTC. Not even slightly impressed. You should have either used a credit card or opened a tab with the manager. You'd have been better off. All right. And he's got a couple of articles that back that up that show that borrowed dollars are the lowest APR and the best way to spend Bitcoin. Okay. The burger cost was 91.77 sats. Sats are Satoshis, and Satoshi Nakamoto is allegedly the inventor of Bitcoin. There's even questions and rumors over whether that's an individual person that was just a pseudonym for a collective of people, or it's literally the intelligence agencies. All right. And then here's another one that we actually looked at on Saturday night, that not only are you buying it for $9, but the growth that you made on the 91.77 sats, the profit, you actually have to pay an income tax on that. So it costs you more than the $9 because you're also paying sales tax on your burger. So Golden Monarch continues that since May 16th of this year, Steak and Shake accepted Bitcoin, albeit using the Lightning Network. Lightning, which was developed and launched out in 2018 through the Lightning Labs and its CEO, Elizabeth Stark, is a second-layer network built on Bitcoin to enable faster and cheaper transaction. Okay, but it's not actually Bitcoin. At first glance, this sounds good, but like any network, Lightning is easily vulnerable to quantum computing threats. And that was even hinted recently by BlackRock. We talked about that last week, that they've already gamed out how this thing is going to end and how they're going to claim that the system was gamed. And it's using this quantum computing, which will break into crypto wallets and allow people to steal from them, clean out wallets, manipulate the system in a way that it couldn't now, change the blockchain potentially. All right. Also, routing attacks, fraudulent breaching within social media, especially on the twatters, crypto users and likely bots overwhelmingly hyped Steak and Shake's announcement of Bitcoin. All right. Some users went overboard and posted their receipts proving that they had used Bitcoin to buy a burger worth $9 or even $12, depending on what they had on their burger. All right. There are some glaring issues with these user statements. So he breaks down some of the problems here, which is, First of all, that they don't actually show you the conversion rate that they calculated these sats to be at in order to get to 9177 or whatever the number is. All right, so what he says is that the receipt doesn't show the conversion, so we don't even know what the value of Bitcoin for the transaction amount was even sent through. It's about a certain amount, but are they making money? Is Steak and Shake or the processor making money on the spread between when it was purchased and when it was actually, when the burger was bought and when it's exchanged for something else? I'm sure they are. It's really dicey and complicated. Also, the receipts use sats as a reference. One Satoshi is point, and it's 8 zeros plus a 1. Why not just post receipts as fractional Bitcoin instead? Why even go through the hassle to name a smaller form of a digital currency after a pseudonym developer? It's weird. The price of Bitcoin is volatile. We've discussed that before as a result of deliberate pumps and dumps from elites and billionaires, etc. And then the halvings as well, which he's going to get to. Thus, receipts, etc. Steak and Shake will show varying prices paid, be it overpaid or underpaid for something as simple as a burger. You might win out by a couple of pennies, but in the end, you're going to lose.
Right.
It's like a casino. The house always wins. According to Decrypt, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies fall under the same category as stocks, bonds, and other long-term investments that may or may not generate income via the IRS. They are completely taxable. So like I said, the income that you make between when you bought your Bitcoin and when you sold it in order to buy a burger, you have to pay tax on that growth. All right, so he says, suppose that 3 years from now, a burger from Steak and Shake costs $9 due to capitalism, of course, the whales and Bitcoin's halving.
Capitalism.
Yep. Largely appreciating Bitcoin's value to keep on rising, all right, which means that he's basically predicting Bitcoin to go up to $300,000 a coin. What if instead of paying $9 in Bitcoin for a Steak and Shake burger, that $9 wasn't spent and instead accumulated to, say, around $27, meaning that the value of what consumers spent looks insane, much like that infamous story back in 2014 or whatever of that one guy that paid 2 Bitcoin for a pizza. All right, that's the 200,000. Yeah, what am I do? All right, what do I propose? It's simple. If you can, stop using decentralized Bitcoin to purchase burgers, lest you enjoy filing a hefty and rigged Form 8949, which is the tax form for making any income on crypto. All right.
Hamburger.
Oh, yummy. I had a delicious friggin' hamburger today, let me tell you. That's my new theme song, apparently.
Well, I mean, it is indie.
Yes.
No?
Ironically, they suggested that customers might want to use stable coins instead. That's also a really bad idea. It's just that there's no income tax to then pay on stable coins because you don't make any money on your stable coins. You have $1, it's worth $1. That's it. Well, you don't want to be in that if you're in crypto. All right. I mean, it's stable, but it's not cash. It's backed by either World Liberty Financial or Circle, which went public this week and doubled in value, apparently. Now, we played this video, and it actually got me whacked for a copyright violation because there was music behind it. And thankfully, YouTube allows you to just take the music out now. So we can't actually play this stupid video because this woman, Valentina Gomez, she apparently ran for Congress and lost. And she just decided, I'm going all in on Bitcoin, and I'm going to be a Bitcoin spokesmodel representative, even though nobody's paying her, hired her, asked her. She's just volunteering to do it because, of course, she owns
all that fucking white after Labor Day, like a fucking peasant.
She owns Bitcoin.
That's what peasants do.
She holds a bunch of Bitcoin, so by hyping Bitcoin, she's actually pumping her own investment. By it going up, she profits.
I call myself a joyful warrior.
These people, man. So It's an insane video. It's a minute long. I guess I gotta play it. I know
You
that
can't. It's got music. Just skip it. It's fine.
right,
We
I'll
get it.
skip it.
We look at the lady. We see it. She buying burger. We got
She's
it.
a mess. All right.
Fucking.
It's just ugh, gross. Oh yeah. By the way, Valentina Gomez, APAC tracker on Valentina Gomez sides with the Israel lobby, touting her support for stomping all over the First Amendment right to free speech, working with the people at Columbia University. Oh, she's an awful person.
$8,000 Burberry jacket too.
Her pinned tweet.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Islam has no place in Texas. A religion.
Okay.
He does not believe in religious freedom, and yet she wants to run for Congress. So we can end the Islamization of America, dude. This woman's dangerous. All right. So our friend the Monarch points out that she's a lunatic, and he's correct. All right, and that she's siding with the Israel lobby because that's what lunatics do. But Bitcoin News, the Fifth Column, and other crypto outlets won't say it, but I'll say it. Steak and Shake should be ashamed of themselves for partnering with a controversial figure, someone who I would easily describe as yet another Bitcoin Zionist, Valentina Gomez. Fuck Israel. Gomez, a political candidate who ran and lost last year during an election to become the Missouri Secretary of State, is an excessive narcissist individual who does whatever she can to seek and feel validation. Whether it's her promoting migrant execution, to using a flamethrower to burn LGBTQ-themed books, to wearing and removing a hijab to stir hate speech within a Muslim event. The next time crypto bro or gal mentions Steak and Shake, ask them how did Big Larry Holdings get a narcissist such as Gomez to go about promoting Bitcoin and freedom without at least doing a proper background check? Surely freedom. Surely Big Larry himself is fully aware of Gomez's profile to not even care. All right. So this was at the Las Vegas Bitcoin conference, which our friend the Monarch deemed Republican Convention 2.5, because Republican Convention 2.0 was the Bitcoin conference last summer. All right. This is where the COOs. I don't know. I don't think he was at the RNC. I want to be at the RNC. I want to hang with. Now he's the deputy director of the FBI. I don't know if you want to hang with him now.
I want to sit with Dan Bongino.
No, I don't. Very much not. So the COO says that Bitcoin payments cut their processing fees in half. For the 8 Bitcoin payments that they made or whatever it is, and then Steak and Shake revealed their success at, they've got their promotion through Bitcoin Magazine, literally their PR. This is through CoinDesk. So you've got the whole industry hyping this whole thing because why not? The entire group of people stands to profit from the hype. So he says last week, and this was at the end of May, prominent politicians, billionaires, and enthusiastic grifters, including Gomez and Graham Elwood, by the way, gathered together at Las Vegas for yet another Bitcoin conference, including Eric Trump was there and Chris from Rumble. Sorry, brother, but calling a spade, they're all standing in that room together, smiling their ass off. Right. Dan Edwards, COO of Steak and Shake, was one individual who reported on Steak and Shake's recent acceptance of Bitcoin and the company's decision to transition away from cooking with vegetable oil to now beef tallow, which allegedly, according to everything I've read, is worse because they're using recycled beef tallow, not even the original fresh stuff. Gross.
You fucking say to me, who fucking said this shit in the fucking chat? What fucking idiot said something stupid in the chat?
Right? Edwards exaggerated with no concrete evidence that Bitcoin is faster than credit cards. All right. And we are saving 50% in processing fees, to the point that Edwards needed to refer to his notes. So what his quote said was that accepting Bitcoin allows us to meet our customers where our customers are. No, it doesn't. It's serving the Bitcoin Zionist crazy hype lunatics like Max
Customers can't even get
Kaiser.
off the fucking couch.
We were seeking to provide our customers with another viable option by which to pay for our products. No, you weren't. We understand that allowing customers to pay with Bitcoin alongside cash and credit cards puts Bitcoin on par with these methods. No, it doesn't. Those other globally accepted payment methods. Yeah, you're dumb because the others are like debits, whereas this is an investment growth or loss potentially. I mean, maybe you'll even get a tax write-off for your cheeseburger that you bought at fucking Steak and Shake like a dummy. All right?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Edwards also hinted that the company's future plans to involve AI-powered cyber chefs, robo-taxis, drone deliveries. What could possibly further go wrong? Well, Edwards, if you think Bitcoin and AI are going to be a cash cow for your business, you're sorely mistaken. Go follow the Monarch. That's freaking great. That was a really good article. And there's a lot of links and stuff inside for you to go down rabbit holes also. Watch that cringe video of Valentina. It's really bad. All right. Valentina Gomez, and tell people like this person is going to be a problem at some point. She wants to become a Secretary of State. At some point, she'll run for governor. Look, we live in a idiocracy kind of world where central casting figures like Kristi Noem get jobs in administrations like this. You think Trump wouldn't hesitate to hire someone who looks like straight out of central casting? You bet your ass he would. So she's worrisome. And I certainly get concerned over people like that and try to stay ahead of the game to see who they are and where they're coming from before they get to a position of prominence, so we can call that out when they get there. Not a lot of, Bitcoin is weird when it comes to YouTube. They're not really big in monetizing Bitcoin channels, although they do make a lot from people watching Bitcoin level content. We are not monetized back on YouTube because of something that we said in support of the Palestinian people just after the October 7th attacks, that we have not still been remonetized. So if you're able to, and a means, these are the ways to do that. And that's with Cash App, $, Indie News Network. If you're on your phone, that this Cash App, that's through the Stripe or through the Square or Block network. Then you've got Ko-fi. Yeah, that's helpful. Ko-fi.com/Indie News Network. That gets to PayPal, or go straight to paypal.me/Indie News Network. If you do the Ko-fi, it'll throw a little thing up on screen. Or you could also go to the newsletters, INNnewsletter.com, or at IndieMediaToday.com. You could also go to IndieNewsNow.com. We're actually live right now at IndieNewsNow.com. That's the website I built. It's actually a news website, and there's a watch live section on the website that has us streaming whenever INN's live. Support independent media. We need it more than ever. Love you.
Bye-bye.
We are party.
No! We just fucking lost the stream!
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen? To 50,000 died, and now we know our mission. We form a militia, make Congress a prison.